One of the scariest things that can happen to a reseller is getting booted off of a platform. You can pretty much get booted off for pretty much any reason. About a year and a half ago, I got booted off Mercari. So let's talk about how I got booted off and why, and how I got back on Mercari. So let me give you a little background before we get going here. I'm going to tell you about what happened prior to me getting kicked off of Mercari. What I had done is I bought about $5,000 worth of Halloween inflatables. Got them all ready to go, and I sent them into Amazon. So en route into Amazon, I'm looking at the listing, and the listing is changing. The picture's changing, the title's changing, the description to a completely different product. So this is a common thing that happens on Amazon. It is insane. And Amazon seems to think that it is your duty to catch this and clean this up. So I battled with customer support on Amazon, which, as you know, is horrible. And I got it all fixed, right? So it's en route, got it all fixed, everything's looking good. As soon as the product got to Amazon, all of a sudden everything went back. It went back to the same crappy title, the same wrong description, the whole deal, right? At that point, you gotta make some decisions. What do you do? Do you recall all your product? Do you keep battling? What do you do? Here's what I decided to do. I decided to do what's called multi-channel fulfillment. Multi-channel fulfillment is when you use Amazon's warehouse to store your product, and then when somebody orders it off of another platform, you can actually go into your inventory and have them ship that product out to whoever orders it. So that's a way that you can take advantage of Amazon's fulfillment network, and the product technically isn't even on sale at Amazon. You're just multi-channel fulfilling it. So you own the product, it's in Amazon, and they are shipping it out. That's multi-channel fulfillment. That's what I decided to do. I decided to post the Halloween inflatables on eBay, on Mercari. As people ordered, I had Amazon ship them out. So all of a sudden, I get this message out of the blue from Mercari. Mercari says, hey, it looks like you're drop shipping. Please don't drop ship anymore. That's against terms of service. Me being me, and not liking being accused of stuff that I didn't do, I felt I needed to clear it up. And I, in hindsight, shouldn't have, because I'm not dealing with rational people, right? You're dealing with customer service based in the middle of nowhere that has no idea what's going on, right? So that's who you're talking to. So I decide to tell them, hey, listen, I'm not drop shipping. I am a business, and I bought this product. Here's the invoice. Here's a picture of the pallet with all the product on it. I said a fulfillment network because I didn't want to tell them I was shipping from Amazon, but I told them I was fulfilling from another location, right? So same deal. And then all of a sudden the next message I get is your account is shut down. So they immediately shut me off. So at first it was just, we think you're drop shipping, please don't. And then the next thing is you're done. And you're done because you're a business. And I'm like, what? I had no clue that on Mercari they didn't want businesses on there. They only want person to person, merchant to merchant. They do not want businesses on Mercari. So I had no idea. So I naively was clearing the situation up, trying to keep 100% positive feedback, perfect metrics, the whole deal that I always try and maintain. And here I am getting the boot. So I went ahead and I messaged Mercari, and I was a little bit pissed in my messages because I was like, dude, come on. So let's take a look at those, right? So here I go. Our account was closed rather abruptly after responding to a warning on Mercari. We were not drop shipping. We gave you an invoice, the whole deal. We have 100% positive feedback. We do a good volume annually, but then here's where I get pissy. Closing an account at random with no ability to respond like we are criminals is uncalled for. I said, eventually you'll need businesses on Mercari, but apparently you do not now. Please forward this to a supervisor. I would like a call back. We had zero idea that we were correcting your error. We were putting our account in jeopardy. So I had no idea that Mercari had no phone number at all, and they don't do phone calls. So not only can you not get a hold of a person, you aren't going to get a call back. So here we go. So you got to do the whole thing over email, right? So here's Mercari telling me they have a high volume of inquiries and it's going to take 48 hours to respond. Great customer service, right? Okay, so I get a response from this dude named Damon, which probably isn't his real name. So it says, "Hi there. It looks like this issue requires assistance from our moderation team. They will be in contact with you." So they're going to pass it on, right? Because they can't handle it. So all of a sudden, Geraldine responds. Geraldine responds, "I apologize. Drop shipping and or selling items not in one's immediate possession is not allowed on Mercari in the interest of protecting buyers and possibly receiving the wrong item or possibly waiting for longer than acceptable periods of time of this purchase arrive. The decision to close your account was made in the interest in promoting a safe and friendly platform," right? So like I'm some kind of criminal, right? So she doesn't even bother to update her knowledge on drop shipping. She just says, "We don't allow drop shipping," right? It's like didn't even read the message, which is like common. It's so common. That's what drives me nuts with the customer service, right? Oh, so here I am pissed off. Drop shipping, I go into what drop shipping is. Distribute across the US. Okay, we do not drop ship. I think you need to research what drop shipping is and is not. I do what every business in the world does that is of scale. And that's the truth. When you order something off of Target or Kohl's or whatever, they don't ship it from one Target, one Kohl's. They use a distribution center. And that distribution center then ships it to you. And that's what you have to do. Like if you're gonna start carrying a significant amount of product, and I'm not the biggest fish in the sea by any stretch. So I just know that if you're gonna get a bunch of East Coast orders, you can take advantage of Amazon's shipping network and they can literally ship it to the customer for $5 as opposed to me shipping it from California for about $15. So they can make it real quick and easy. The customer gets it super fast. They're pumped. I'm happy, the whole deal. So you have to do some of that stuff at some point, right? So there was a few emails that I don't have here though. We went back and forth on the whole drop shipping issue. Eventually, they just essentially told me there's nothing we can do. You got booted off for being a business and for drop shipping. So Mercari, at the time, I was like, I don't need you, man.
I don't need you, man.
I don't do that much on Mercari, so it was low on the totem pole, but I still don't like eliminating options, right? Like I still don't like not being allowed to sell certain places. I had a bad experience, I'll tell you sometime, with Amazon. It was huge. It was a disaster. And at the time, I had all my eggs in one basket. And I try and diversify as much as I can now. So having a door closed on me, I don't like that, right? Eventually, in June, so about 6 months later, I decided to try again with Mercari. This is one thing that I learned, and I learned in college, and this is kind of me going on a tangent and digressing a little bit. The first college I went to, I dropped out of before I went to another college a year and a half later, and then I graduated with a bachelor's from there. But the first college I dropped out of, I had my student pass. I still had friends there. They wanted to go to the football game. It was Huskies, University of Washington Huskies. And I still have my student pass. So hypothetically, I could go into student seating. So bear with me real quick, this is a quick tangent. I went to the kiosk, I showed them the pass, and the person caught the expiration date and said, "No, you can't come in, this is expired." Because I had already gotten out of the school and it was an old pass. So I was gonna turn around and jam, and my buddy said, "You know what, let's go to the next kiosk. Let's try there." And I would have gone away and left and not gone to the game, but we went ahead and went to the next kiosk. I showed them, and they didn't catch it, right? They let me in. I watched the whole game, the first couple rows, just like a student. That was a lesson that always sticks with me, is that this customer service has no clue what they're doing on all the platforms. So even when they say the issue's done, it ain't done. It ain't done by a long shot. Just keep messaging them. Even when they won't respond, just keep messaging them. Try different emails, try whatever. Let some time pass, try it again. Eventually, you'll catch somebody slipping, or they'll let you back on, or whatever. It's just a matter of time, and you just keep swinging that bat, and you'll eventually get back on the platform. So here I am in June. At this point, I'm like, I don't even really care about Mercari, but let's just try and get back on, right? So I message them, I get the same response, 24 hours, we'll get back to you. Last time it was 48 hours, now it's 24 hours. Again, they gotta send it to the moderation team. Okay, good old Dimitri. Dimitri here proceeds to tell me that Article 2, terminated due to prior violations of our terms and service, prohibited from creating new accounts. So Dimitri tells me that he can't create a new account for me. Like, once you've been suspended, he can't create a new account. So then I go into, I've got a unique situation, and then I'm pissed again, right? I'm like, hey, listen, Mercari is in trouble. Google Mercari. Okay, so I Google them, and I say, in addition, something to consider is currently when you Google Mercari, the first articles that come up are in regards to Mercari taking a $66 million loss over the last 9 months. And I says, that's a pretty significant loss. I've unfortunately been employed in a company myself where that has happened. It typically leads to mass layoffs and firings in order to weather the storm. In Mercari's position right now, suspending a seller with a perfect record, which I had, I wouldn't think is a financially wise decision. Please escalate this request to management for consideration. So I'm starting to go back in time here. I did message them at random in between December and June. And so I did send off a few messages. It was basically the same result. All of a sudden in June, I'm feeling a little spicy, and I decided to send this message. And here we go. 24-hour response time again, right? They need time. They need time. So all of a sudden, I get this message, right? Let's see. Okay, here it is. Oh, here it is. Okay. So all of a sudden, I get this message back from Chance. Chance. This must be their, like, second chance email, that sort of thing. This must be where it comes from, right? Thanks for contacting us. I have reviewed your account and can see that you were removed for drop shipping and for operating as a business. Based on your activity, I have decided to give you a final chance on the marketplace. I'm back, baby. Going forward, please remember that we do not allow drop shipping. God. Or listing pre-shipments on the marketplace. All items must be in your possession. Take some time to refresh yourself with Mercari's prohibited items, blah, blah, blah. Please don't hesitate to contact us. So I'm back, right? As far as I can tell, here's what I think did it. I think persistence, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, then bringing up some facts about their actual business. That, listen, I am 100% perfect ratings, and I'm here to do good on Mercari, right? And stuff like that. You pop me for being a business. Plus, going through a major loss, it seems like a stupid move to kick off a business that's going to do any sort of volume on their platform, right? So that's how I got back on. Basically, persistence, you just keep trying, you just keep swinging, and eventually you might get a, I don't know, you might get a sympathetic ear. You might catch somebody slipping. So that's what I would say. If you've ever been kicked off a platform, keep trying, keep swinging away. You know, try different approaches. If they're in financial straits, I don't know, maybe bring that up. That might have been me just being pissy. But this is how I got back on Mercari. So it may not work for everybody, but I didn't get kicked off for selling counterfeit this or that. I got kicked off for being a business. So there you go. Hopefully that helps somebody somewhere. That's my story. All right, bye.